Life has a way of teaching us the same lesson over and over until we finally learn it. There's a story about an old farmer. Perhaps you've heard it before, but I want you to really think about it this time. This farmer had a beautiful horse. One day the horse ran away. His neighbor came over, shaking his head. "What terrible luck," he said. The farmer simply replied, "Maybe." A week later, that same horse came back, only this time it wasn't alone. It had a whole herd of wild horses with it. The neighbor was beside himself. "What wonderful luck," he said. Again, the farmer just smiled and said, "Maybe." What's the lesson here? We spend so much of our lives slapping labels on things, good, bad, lucky, unlucky, when the truth is, we don't really know how anything will turn out. What seems like a disaster today may turn out to be a blessing tomorrow. And yet, how much energy do we waste fighting the uncontrollable? How many nights do we lose worrying about things that have already happened or things that might never happen at all? The truth is, life is unpredictable. It always has been, it always will be. But there's a kind of peace that comes with accepting that. A power, even. Think of your mind like a ship at sea. The waves will rise, the winds will blow, storms will come, sometimes out of nowhere. A bad sailor shakes his fist at the sky, cursing the weather, demanding that the sea be calm. But the good sailor, he doesn't waste his breath. He adjusts his sails. And that's what we have to learn to do. Every day we face things we wish we could change, but can't. Someone is rude to you, a business deal falls through, a storm ruins your plans. You have two choices. You can fight it, complain, worry, stress yourself sick, or you can accept it, adjust your sails, and move forward. Have you ever noticed how some people spend half their lives worrying, only to find that most of what they feared never even happens? There's a story about a businessman who once approached Dale Carnegie. He looked exhausted, worn down. He said, "I haven't had a full night's sleep in years. I'm constantly worrying about my business." Carnegie looked at him and asked, "If you lost everything tomorrow, would worrying about it tonight change a thing?" The man thought about it. Finally, he admitted, "No, I suppose it wouldn't." Carnegie smiled and said, "Then why lose both your business and your peace of mind? Worry is like paying interest on a debt you don't even owe." Yet most people spend their days carrying a heavy burden of worry. Worry about what's already happened. Worry about what might happen. Worry about things that are completely out of their control. Now, I want you to imagine something. Picture yourself walking through life with a heavy suitcase in your hand. But it's not just any suitcase. It's filled with rocks. Each rock represents something you can't change. One rock might be a mistake you made years ago. Another might be a bad economy. Another might be something someone said about you. Every morning you pick up this suitcase. Every night you set it down exhausted. You're carrying it with you everywhere, on your way to work, at the dinner table, even when you try to sleep. Now here's the question, why? Why carry something that's only weighing you down? Why spend today worrying about things you have no power over? The truth is, worry doesn't prevent tomorrow's problems, it only drains today's energy. There's a simple question I want you to start asking yourself. Can I change this? If the answer is yes, if there's something you can do, then take action. If the answer is no, if it's beyond your control, then let it go. That's it. That's the secret. Because, my friends, success isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you stop doing. And one of the smartest things you can stop doing is wasting your energy on things you can't change. If you learn that, If you truly understand it, then you'll find a kind of freedom most people never experience. And once you stop fighting the waves, you'll be amazed at how far your ship can sail. And that freedom, the ability to let go of what you can't control, opens the door to something even greater, the power to break free from the endless cycle of what-ifs. Have you ever caught yourself lost in a spiral of what-ifs? What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I make the wrong decision? What if things don't go the way I planned? These questions trap us in a cycle of hesitation, draining our energy before we even take a step forward. But here's the thing. Most of the things we worry about never actually happen, and even when they do, they rarely turn out as bad as we feared. There's a study that found that 85% of the things we worry about never come to pass, and of the 15% that do, the vast majority are either manageable or turn out to be valuable learning experiences. So think about that. How much of your life have you spent stressing over things that never even happened? How many opportunities have you passed up because you were too afraid of what might go wrong? Fear of the unknown has stopped more dreams than failure ever could. There's a story about a famous tightrope walker who could walk across a rope suspended hundreds of feet in the air without a second thought. He had mastered his balance. He had trained his body. He trusted his skill. One day he was performing when a strong gust of wind came out of nowhere. He wobbled, arms flailing, but then quickly adjusted and continued walking. The crowd gasped in relief. After the show, someone asked him, "How did you not panic?" He smiled and said, "If I focused on falling, I would have fallen. Instead, I focused on taking the next step." How many times do we do the opposite? We become so fixated on the fear of failure that we don't even take the next step. We hesitate, we freeze, we let our doubts paralyze us before we even begin. But the truth is, progress only happens when we move forward, even when we're uncertain. The key to breaking free from the cycle of worry isn't to pretend challenges don't exist. It's to shift your focus. Imagine you're driving at night. Your headlights only show a small stretch of the road ahead. You can't see the entire journey. But do you stop the car just because you can't see the whole way? No. You trust that as you keep moving, the road will reveal itself. Life works the same way. You don't need to have all the answers before you start. You don't need to see the entire future before you take action. All you need to do is focus on what's right in front of you, the next step, the next choice, the next action. Because at the end of the day, worry doesn't move you forward. Action does. There's a great irony in life. The harder we hold on to things we can't control, the more they control us. We see it everywhere. The man who can't stop replaying a past mistake, the woman who wastes years trying to change someone who doesn't want to change, the business owner paralyzed by fear of a shifting economy. But the truth is, holding on doesn't fix the past, and it doesn't shape the future. It only keeps us stuck. During World War II, Admiral James Stockdale was captured and held as a prisoner of war for 7 years. Tortured, starved, kept in isolation, many prisoners around him lost hope. They clung to fantasies. "We'll be out by Christmas." When Christmas came and went, they said, "We'll be out by Easter." But each time their hopes were crushed, and in the end, many of them gave up entirely. Stockdale, he took a different approach. He said, "I never lost faith that I would prevail, but I also never deceived myself. I accepted my reality, focused on what I could control, and let go of what I couldn't." That mindset saved his life. The ones who refused to accept reality suffered the most. They stayed trapped, mentally and emotionally, even before they lost their freedom physically. And that's how life works. Those who dwell on the unfairness of life stay stuck, but those who accept and adapt survive and thrive. Let's talk about something that often holds us back when it comes to letting go: our need for certainty. We love knowing what's going to happen next. We love control. In fact, so much of our anxiety comes from the fear of uncertainty. What might happen if we let go, if we stop holding on to something? But here's the thing. Certainty is an illusion. No matter how much we try to predict, plan, or control the outcome, life will always throw in a few surprises. And that's not a bad thing. The real power lies in embracing the unknown. Think about it. If we constantly try to control every little aspect of our lives, we miss the opportunity to grow, to adapt, and to become the people we're capable of being. When we let go of the need for certainty, we open ourselves up to possibility. We make space for the unexpected blessings, the new opportunities, the lessons that come from facing challenges head-on. Here's the kicker. Letting go of certainty doesn't mean giving up on our goals. It simply means that we stop clinging to a specific outcome, and instead, we trust the process. It's about being willing to go with the flow, to take life as it comes, and to have faith that as long as we keep moving forward, the right things will fall into place. There's a quote by the philosopher Alan Watts that I find really powerful. He said, "The more a thing tends to be permanent, the more it tends to be lifeless." The moment we start treating life as something we can permanently fix or control is the moment we stifle its beauty and flow. Life isn't a puzzle to be solved. It's a dance to be enjoyed. And that's what letting go really comes down to. It's not about giving up. It's about stepping into the rhythm of life, trusting that you can handle whatever comes your way and allowing the journey to unfold without unnecessary resistance. It's about surrendering the need for control and finding peace in the process. So, when you find yourself gripping tightly to something you can't change, remember this: life is meant to be experienced, not controlled. Let go of the struggle and watch how much more you can accomplish with less effort and more ease. The less you hold on to, the more you can grow, learn, and truly live. Now, I want you to picture something. Your mind is like a garden. You can plant whatever you want in it. But if you spend all your time watering the weeds, dwelling on frustrations, fears, and regrets, there won't be any room for the flowers to grow. Every time you relive a mistake, that's a weed. Every time you stress over something outside your control, that's a weed. Every time you seek approval from people who will never give it, that's a weed. And the longer you let them grow, the harder they are to pull out. So what's the solution? Let go. Let go of past mistakes. You can't go back, but you can go forward. Let go of other people's opinions. You'll never please everyone, so why try? Let go of the uncontrollables. Storms will come, but you can always adjust your sails. Because once you stop wasting energy on what you can't change, you'll have more power to change what you can. And that, my friends, is where true success begins. So, I'll leave you with this. The moment you stop chasing the things beyond your control is the moment you start running toward the life you were meant to live. And that is the power of letting go.